Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. That speech before put a lot of pressure on me, so I hope I'm a little bit at least as useful. So today I want to talk to you about how to create your own brand using digital marketing. I think it's something that a lot of people think of, and a lot of people think it's much easier than it really is. And that is why I kind of wanted to give you an insight from everything I've learned for the past few years. So some of you might be asking, why is this young girl here teaching me what to do? I am 23, I was born in Moldova here in Chisinau, and if you're Moldovan, you might know how difficult it is for a Moldovan to break through on an international level. If you're not Moldovan, you've probably already heard of the political situation here, social problems, and so on. So a few reasons would be that even though I do come from Moldova, these are the titles that have written about me, and these are the brands that have trusted me enough to work with me. Now, the first lesson that I want to tell you today is followers mean nothing. A lot of you might be thinking, why are you here then? You're all followers, but it's not true. Followers do mean nothing because influence means everything. Popularity doesn't equal success, and business isn't a popularity contest. And I think this is where a lot of people get it wrong. Now, speaking about me personally, I don't have the biggest amount of followers. In fact, there are even Moldovan models that have more followers than me. However, I do get booked for more jobs, and I do get booked at a higher rate. And if you asked the agencies and the industry, they will tell you that I have more influence. Now, many of you might not understand that in terms of social media, but think about it from a perspective of sales. Now, Samsung sell the biggest amount of phones in the world. However, Apple makes 106% profit of all the smartphone sales. And this really shows you that it's not just about numbers, it's about a lot more. It's not enough to be followed by 1 million people. If these 1 million people are kids from third world countries, from developing countries, you're not going to move anywhere, and your business is just going to be stuck at the same level, and you're just going to be living the same lifestyle. Now, if you're followed by one person, and that person is Abramovich, everything you post will probably end up in sales, returning you either commission from your affiliate links, or if you post a funny video, that really influential rich person is probably going to send you money as remuneration. So it isn't about just numbers, it's about the right numbers. To be successful in digital media, it's a very full-on experience. However, there is a short plan, and the plan looks kind of like this. And there are a few steps that are really necessary and quite easy to actually follow. First of all, you need to create a message. And that message needs to be something that really represents you, something that you're going to be standing for, something people are going to be knowing you for, something that once someone visits your Instagram, they get an idea straight away of what that message is. Create quality content around the message and the brand. Quality content is really important. There is so much content online, and sometimes it's just exhausting to be looking at everything. So quality really does make a difference. Get a following, of course. Even if it's a small one, you still need a following. Convert the following into a tribe. Customers, readers, believers. Build that influence with the audience. And stay on brand. What a lot of people forget is once they get a following, they really change and they move into a different direction. The audience is there because they already like your image, they like what you stand for, they like the way you dress, the way you build things. So you have to stay on brand and you have to expand the brand but not really move away from it. Many of you are here today probably because they want to learn about how to expand their businesses, how to get better at using the social media tools in order to make their businesses more successful. However, I'm pretty sure that many of you are here because they have no idea. They don't have a business and they don't have a plan yet, and they just want to build something, but they don't know where to start. Digital media is an idea goldmine. Now, if you don't know where to start, I'm gonna tell you how you can use social media in order to start a business and find an idea. Nowadays, thanks to the internet, you don't have to fly to the other end of the world in order to analyze a different market, in order to see what other people are doing or what your competitors are doing. It's enough to go into Instagram and look for that, or go online, Google, Twitter, anything else, and you can find lots of different ideas. Because the point is that the stuff that gets shared online, the stuff that is spread around, is usually the really, really good stuff. It's inspirational content that people post because they like it, because they want their life to be like that. They want to have that beautiful ice cream, they want to taste it, they want to have that new beautiful phone. No one really shares ugly content. You know, I'm going to Cannes Film Festival on Monday, and no one wants to know that I'll have to wake up at 3 in the morning and go to bed at 1. People want to just see me in a beautiful Dior gown at a beautiful hotel in Cannes. So people don't really want to see that behind the scenes. Now, this is a really good idea of how you can find content. Say you're looking to open a business in the food industry. You want to open an ice cream store. Now, this profile is called Infatuation. It's one of the best food profiles on Instagram. They have profiles in about every biggest city in the world: London, New York, Hong Kong, you name it. And here are a few examples of insane-looking ice creams that people have shared. They've bought the ice cream, they thought it's so freaking good that they want to share it on their Instagram. And nothing stops you from doing the same here in Chisinau. And there's tons and tons of profiles like that. There are profiles about barbershops, salons, engineering companies, anything. You can find any kind of idea online. You just have to go and look for it. There is no real excuse to be lacking ideas. You look for what's missing in your community, and you find that niche, and you look online for inspiration, and you just recreate that and apply it in your local community. Now, many of you might be familiar with Seth Godin and his idea that interesting ideas spread and boring ideas die. Now, whilst that applies to the normal customer, the majority of people, I would disagree because, you know, the pipes here, someone is selling them and someone is making money out of them. People working at Gazprom, they're probably not enjoying it. It's not a fun, creative industry, but they're making hell loads of money out of it. So I would say that interesting ideas spread, and interesting ideas can sell even the most unexciting things. And here is an example, quite an extreme example. This is Gucci's latest campaign featuring Star Wars, Star Trek looking models. Now, the thing with someone like Gucci, they can go this extreme because their customers are around 1 billion people. So they can take risks and they can be weird because they're in fashion. And in the fashion industry, weirdness is celebrated. And that can potentially lead to a lot of advertising and a lot of attention. But you don't have to be this extreme. For instance, a really good example is Pornhub. Now, many of you know what Pornhub is. No shame there, that's fine. A lot of outlets provide the same services. But what Pornhub does really, really well is get involved in political issues, in social issues, and tweet really sneaky but quite smart replies and messages on their Twitter. So suddenly they become this destination that has a different angle and has covered something that's so widely spread and so widely used from a more interesting perspective, almost giving it an intellectual vibe. I want to show you a few really strong personal brands right now on social media. So first one is Gianluca Vacchi. You've probably seen him dancing with his girlfriend. Second one is Bella Hadid. Third one is Dan Bilzerian, I think that's how you pronounce his name, and Emily Ratajkowski. Now, I think these are some really good examples, because these are all people with huge followings online. And looking at them right now, the biggest following, Dan Bilzerian, has 22 million followers. Then Emily Ratajkowski, then Bella Hadid, then Gianluca. Just looking at that, most people think, oh my God, Dan Bilzerian must be making so much money from his social media. But he's not. Gianluca is actually making tons more money from his social media channel than Dan is. And Bella Hadid, having less followers than Emily Ratajkowski, gets booked for far more campaigns than Emily Ratajkowski does. So this is a really clear example of how you can have a lot of followers and that doesn't necessarily translate into income. Now, this is a business conference, so I think what all of you are interested in is how to actually get an income rather than just get a following or be famous or, have people know about you. Because if success to you is about getting jobs and making an income, then numbers should not matter to you. The quality of those followers, the demographics should matter. But if success to you is just having lots of followers, then yeah, there's many ways you can achieve that. Just put on a bikini if you're a girl, spend a lot of time on the beach, post photos in a bikini. Or if you're a guy, hang out with naked girls. Guys will love you. So it is a very different, it's a different goal and depends on what your goal is. Now, here are a few really good brands on social media. I've tried to select quite different industries. First one is Glossier, which is a beauty company from LA. You can have a look at them later because I don't think I'll have time to cover them. Second one is Beautiful Destination, which is an account that publishes lots of travel pictures. Third one, you all know GoPro, the camera brand, and National Geographic, again, National Geographic, a publication that, by the way, is excellent to social media. I mean, look at the following numbers, 77 million followers. And all they do is create interesting content for their people, for their followers online, and try to convert that into sales of magazines and books. And what they'll do a lot of times, they'll publish some interesting content and say, this is the story of this photographer, read the rest of the story in this issue. So that is a really good way to promote even a publication. Be a rapper. Now, I don't mean actually, get tattooed and start smoking weed. And I mean, unless you want to be a rapper, then that's what you should do. But I mean more from the perspective of rappers as such good personal branding people. And they've admitted a lot of times in, using fake money and renting cars and hiring all these girls that pretend to be their girlfriends, because that's the image that they want to create. They want to show you that they're cool, they want to show you that they're rich. And sorry. Okay. And it's about bending reality. You can't lie because you get caught out on it, but you can pretend that things are slightly nicer than they are in real life. And here are a few really good examples. Here you'll see that the girl is in Venice with a champagne barefoot. I mean, who walks around Venice with a champagne barefoot? And you can't see in this photo how stinky the canals are and how dirty the pavement is, but it looks perfect. And it's not a lie, it's just really, really well presented in that specific context. And here is this really popular couple, Follow Me Too, and you can see the final result and you can see how they created. Now that's not a lie, but they do bend reality to make it a lot more aspirational and to make people that follow them feel like they're in this magical world, like they can do it too. But be very careful, because when you lie, this is what happens. This is a rapper that actually just the other day pretended he was flying to New York on a private jet. And this is a random person that caught him flying economy on a normal plane, posted it to social media, and then everyone found out about it. So now this rapper that no one really knew is famous to everyone in Hollywood. Everyone's making fun of him, posting pictures of their private planes and mentioning his name. And then this is a model that got really famous after she was on the cover of Playboy. She had a very beautiful eye condition. One eye was blue, one eye was sort of like greenish, brownish. But then people on social media caught her out on using contact lenses and faking the whole thing. So now you don't really hear about her because she was caught out. A lot of people found out about it, and millennials don't like lies. Demographics. As I said, numbers aren't necessarily important, but what is important is demographics. Now, I live in London, and I get booked for a lot of campaigns in London, and I get a lot of press in London because my biggest following is in London. I'm speaking here to you because a big following of mine is still Chisinau. So I'm relevant here. I'm speaking to women at a lot of conferences about women issues because my biggest following is women. And I am able to sell products because my biggest age following is actually women with disposable income. So it's all about analyzing what your demographics are, or if you want to target specific demographics, there are certainly ways. Sorry, I think I had something else. One of the ways, the first way you can target a demographic could be Facebook ads or Instagram ads. Now with those you can be very precise. You can actually choose what kind of interests you want your audience to have, what the region is, what the age is. You can go as specific as to what part of London you want that audience to be in. And then there is also the possibility to partner up with local influencers or local brands. If you're an influencer and you're trying to grow your following in a community, partner up with someone of about the same following as you are. Never go really high, because people with high followings won't be interested in promoting you for free. So find someone with approximately the same following, very similar demographics, and collaborate with them. Or if you're a brand, again, invite, like, go to Instagram, look up who, if you're a burger place in Chisinau, look up who has the most popular photo in Chisinau on Instagram. Write to that person, invite them for a free burger and whatever. Don't tell them to post, because don't forget, these people are coming and making you a favor. And they're coming to help you. Usually things like this are being paid. But if you're a new business, you can count on their nice side and just invite them and treat them really well, and then hope that they will post you. When? A lot of people ask me, when do I start? You know, there's so many people on Instagram already. Isn't it too late? Like, how, when, why? And no, it's not too late. It's late to start on MySpace because MySpace is dead. But Instagram isn't too late to start on, and this is why. Instagram has over 500 million users a month. Over 90 million photos are posted a day. Over 4 billion likes are happening a day. 46% of users of Snapchat aren't even on Instagram. So you have that huge audience on Snapchat that can possibly move to Instagram. And also, Instagram is adding 100 million new users every 9 months. So if you're thinking that it's too late, no, it's not too late. There's still a lot of people coming. And also, if you're thinking Instagram is enough, it's not enough because 46% of people on Snapchat don't use Instagram. So use every social media that you can and maximize it and create different content for all your social media. But make sure your messaging is very much the same because you have a defined brand. And if you want that brand to last and if you want that brand to become an investment and then a revenue, you need to keep the same message. No one is waiting for you, so prove otherwise. And that's it.
Thank you, Doina.
Thank you.
Welcome home, actually. I'm pretty sure we have some questions for you.
Yeah.
Yeah? Please? Okay.
Zinaida Wolfington.
Hello, Doina. Very great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
So before moving to Moldova, I saw you on YouTube channel of Lisa Eldridge. I wonder if that was very random of her to pick you, or if that was a part of like promo campaign of yours.
It was half-half. So I was at Alexa Chang's birthday in London, who's really good friends with Lisa Eldridge. And I had a few friends that already knew Lisa, so they introduced me to her. And Lisa looked at me and she's like, oh my God, you look like Kendall Jenner. I actually want to do a tutorial with you, making you look like Kendall Jenner. So I agreed. And I think that's the great part about, you know, still maintaining that networking in real life, because a lot of people think that nowadays it's just enough to sit behind a computer, and it's not. Because the more you go out there, the more you prove that you've got an actual personality, and the more you have a chance to meet even more people and charm them and make better connections. So while social media is good and the internet is great, you have to get out of the house and interact with people.
Thank you, Zinaida. Thank you, Doina, so much. Any other questions?
If there are questions, please find Doina around and ask her what is interesting for you. Now,
Give her some applause, please.
thank you, Doina.
Thank you, Doina.
Thank you.